I always thought my life was simple, calm, and predictable. I used to tell my sister Mia that stability was my greatest strength, but now I wonder if that was just another word for blindness. I was 28, working long hours as a software engineer, building a future I thought I would share with Lena. She had been my girlfriend for 5 years, my closest friend, and the one person I believed would never hurt me. That night started like any other. Lena sat on the couch beside me, scrolling through her phone. I was cooking dinner, humming to myself, feeling light. "You okay?" I asked, smiling at her. "Yeah, just tired," she replied without looking up. Her phone vibrated again. She tilted the screen slightly, maybe without realizing it. I wasn't trying to snoop. I only glanced because the light caught my eye. But the moment I saw the name Adrian Cole, something inside me paused. I said, "Isn't that your friend from work?" She nodded. "He's asking about a project." But the preview message didn't match her tone. It read, "I can't stop thinking about last night." My chest tightened. "Lena, what was last night?" She shifted a bit. "Just a work dinner." "Why?" When she went to shower, her phone buzzed again. I stared at it. I whispered, "Don't do it." But my hand still moved. I picked it up only to flip it over, but the screen lit again, revealing Adrian's full message. "I miss you. I want you." My heart felt like it cracked open. I knew I shouldn't swipe, but I did. Her reply stared back at me. "I miss you too." I couldn't breathe. I whispered, "Lena, why?" She walked out of the bathroom right then. She saw the phone in my hand and froze. "Ethan, what are you doing?" "I saw the messages," I said. "Tell me it's not what it looks like." She pressed her lips together. "You shouldn't have touched my phone." "That's all you're going to say?" I shouted. "Who is he to you?" She crossed her arms. "He's someone who listens." I felt the words stab me. "I listen." Her eyes softened for a second, then hardened again. "Ethan, I need space." "Space," I repeated. "After 5 years?" She nodded. "I don't know what I want." I took a step back, feeling the room spin. "Do you love him?" She didn't answer. I sat on the edge of the couch. "Lena, talk to me. I deserve the truth." She whispered, "I don't want to fight." "I'm not fighting," I said. "I'm breaking." She looked away. "I think I lost myself." I laughed bitterly. "You found yourself with Adrian?" She winced. "Ethan, stop." I shook my head. "I thought we were building a future." She grabbed her jacket. "I need air." I stood and blocked the door. "No. Explain." Her voice cracked as she said, "I don't owe you anything." Those words killed whatever hope I had left. I stepped aside. "Go then." She walked past me without looking back. The door closed softly, but it echoed like an explosion in my chest. I sank to the floor, whispering, "What did I do wrong?" Mia called at that moment. I answered with a shaky voice. "Ethan? What happened?" she asked. "It's Lena," I said. "She's not who I thought she was." Mia sighed. "Come over. Talk to me." I nodded. "Yeah, I need that." When I stood up again, the apartment felt cold and unfamiliar. For the first time, I felt like a stranger in my own home. I sat there a moment longer, rubbing my hands over my face, trying to steady my breathing. My mind replayed every moment Lena and I had shared, twisting them into something painful. I muttered, "How long has this been happening?" The question felt heavy. I thought about the late nights, the sudden distance, the excuses she tossed out like nothing. It all made terrible sense now. I grabbed my keys with shaking hands, needing to move, needing air, needing anything that wasn't the silence of home. I felt the walls closing in as I walked out. The days after reading those messages felt unreal. I kept telling myself I had misunderstood everything, but the doubt stayed stuck in my chest like a stone. When Lena came home that next morning, I tried to speak to her, hoping she would give me any kind of truth. She didn't even sit down. "I'm heading out again," she said, grabbing a new jacket I had never seen before. I stepped in front of her and asked, "Can we talk about what's going on?" She didn't meet my eyes. "Not now, Ethan. I'm late." I said, "Late for what? You never used to leave this early." She sighed like I was annoying her. "It's work. Please don't start." I felt something twist inside me. "Why are you acting like I'm the problem?" She slipped past me and said, "Just trust me." Then the door closed. I spent the day pacing. When Ryan called, I answered immediately. "Man, you sound terrible," he said. I told him everything. He stayed quiet before saying, "Ethan, people don't write messages like that unless something real is happening." I shook my head even though he couldn't see me. "Lena wouldn't cheat," I argued. "She's just stressed." Ryan sighed. You said that last year when she kept canceling plans for that coworker party. Ethan, open your eyes. Something's off. I didn't want to hear it. I said, I'll talk to her tonight. But deep down, fear grew heavier. When she returned, she carried expensive makeup bags. Where'd you get that? I asked. She said, there was a sale. Her voice sounded too quick. I pointed at the tag. Still on. She snatched it away. Why are you checking my things? I whispered, because I don't know you anymore. She stared at me coldly. Stop being dramatic. I said, then tell me where you've been. She tossed her hair and said, working? I stepped closer. We used to talk about everything. She rolled her eyes. I'm tired, Ethan. I felt myself shrinking as she walked into the bedroom without another word. The next day, Ryan showed up at my place. I'm not letting you sit here alone, he said. I told him Lena was still avoiding me. He asked, do you really think she's working all those late shifts? I didn't answer. He placed a hand on my shoulder. Ethan, something's wrong. That evening, Lena grabbed her purse again. Another shift? I asked. She didn't reply. I followed her quietly after she left. My heart pounded as she took a taxi. When she got out at a luxury hotel, my stomach twisted. Please let this be innocent, I whispered as I hid behind a pillar. She walked inside with nervous excitement in her steps. I waited outside for almost 2 hours. Every minute felt heavier. When she finally came out, she wasn't alone. Adrian walked beside her, holding her hand like she belonged to him. My knees weakened as I whispered, no. Please no. He leaned in and kissed her. She laughed softly, a sound I used to think was mine alone. I felt something inside me break completely. I backed into the shadows, covering my mouth. How long has this been going on? I whispered. No answer came, just the sound of their laughter fading as they walked away. I stayed frozen there, gripping the cold wall behind me as if it could hold my heart together. My breath shook. I muttered, why didn't you just tell me, Lena? But the street swallowed my voice. A car passed and its headlights flashed across the hotel entrance, revealing me, so I stepped deeper into the dark. I felt my phone buzzing. It was Ryan calling again. I answered with a whisper. I saw them, I said. He asked, what do you mean? Saw who? I closed my eyes. Lena and Adrian. Together. Holding hands. Kissing. Ryan cursed under his breath and said, Ethan, come home. Don't stay there. This will destroy you. I lowered myself onto the curb. It already did, I whispered. He tried to speak again, but I ended the call. I couldn't hear anything anymore. All I felt was the world collapsing around me. I waited for Lena in the living room, my chest tight and my hands shaking. When she finally walked in, I said, we need to talk tonight. No running, no excuses. She didn't even take off her shoes. Ethan, not this again, she muttered. I swallowed hard and pointed at the door. I saw you at the hotel. Her face went pale for a second before she forced a sigh. So you followed me? She asked sharply. Yes, I said. Because you wouldn't tell me the truth. She dropped her purse on the table. You're becoming controlling, Ethan. I stared at her in disbelief. Controlling? I watched my girlfriend hold another man's hand. She crossed her arms. You don't understand me anymore. I whispered, then explain it. She shook her head. You always trap me with your expectations. My voice cracked as I asked, which expectations? Loyalty? She scoffed. You're insecure and it's exhausting. I stepped back stunned. You cheated Lena. How am I the problem? She raised her chin. Adrian treats me like I'm growing. You keep me in one place. I blinked, trying to breathe. Growing? With hotel rooms and lies. She shot back. At least he sees my worth. I felt something inside me collapse. So he's the hero now? She shrugged. He gives me more than you ever did. I stared at her, unable to move. 5 years, Lena. 5 years we built together. She looked around the apartment almost coldly. This place feels small now. I whispered, I thought it felt like home. She didn't answer. Instead, she walked into the bedroom and opened the closet. What are you doing? I asked. Packing, she said simply. I'm leaving tonight. My heart dropped so fast it almost hurt to breathe. Tonight? Without even talking to me properly? She kept folding her clothes. Talking won't change anything. I stepped closer. So Adrian asked you to move in? She paused only for a second. He offered me a chance to start fresh. I laughed bitterly. Fresh? With someone who helped you destroy us. She snapped. Stop making me feel guilty. I stared at her. You don't feel guilty. That's the problem. She zipped her suitcase and walked past me. I hope you find someone who matches your expectations. I grabbed the door frame to steady myself. Lena, look at me. 5 years. Doesn't that mean anything? She finally met my eyes, and for a moment I searched for the girl I loved. But she just said, I want more. I said, more than me? She whispered, yes. Those 3 letters sliced through everything I believed. She opened the door. I stood there trying not to break. She didn't hug me. She didn't cry. She just said, goodbye, Ethan, and walked away like I was a stranger renting the same building. I watched her move down the hallway with her suitcase wheels scraping against the tiles. A part of me wanted to run after her, but the rest of me felt paralyzed. When the elevator door closed behind her, it felt like the world snapped in half. My legs finally gave out and I slid down the doorway. I whispered, why wasn't I enough? My voice trembled so badly I barely recognized it. I pulled out my phone with stiff fingers and called Mia. She answered immediately. Ethan? What's happening? I couldn't speak at first. She said my name again softer. I finally managed. She left. Mia gasped. What do you mean she left? I wiped my face. She packed her bags. She chose him. Mia cursed quietly. Ethan, I'm so sorry. I'm coming over. I shook my head even though she couldn't see. No, I just needed someone to hear me. She said, you're not alone, okay? You're not the problem. I whispered, but maybe I wasn't enough for her. She replied, some people break good things because they don't know how to value them. Her words hit something deep inside me. It hurts, Mia, I said. I can't even breathe right now. Mia's voice softened. Then breathe with me. One step at a time. I'm here. After we hung up, I sat in the dark living room. My phone buzzed. I prayed it wasn't her, but it was. The message read, I hope you don't hate me. Adrian and I are serious about each other. My hands went numb. I whispered, I hate what you turned me into. But I didn't reply. I just sat there, staring at the screen, realizing the night had taken everything. I had convinced myself that enough time had passed, that the chaos inside me had settled into something manageable, but the lie dissolved the second I opened my mailbox. Months earlier, after Lena walked out, I'd promised myself I would rebuild. Therapy, work, friends, everything was supposed to help me breathe again. And for a while it actually did. Ethan, Dr. Evans would say during our sessions, you're holding yourself responsible for someone else's choices. I'd sigh and answer, I know. I just don't know how to stop. She'd tilt her head gently. Then we'll keep working until you do. Those conversations grounded me even when they hurt. Ryan helped in his own chaotic way. Man, you need to get out, he'd insist. I'm dragging you to this bar if I have to carry you. I'd groan, I don't even like people right now. He'd laugh loudly, which is exactly why we're going. Eventually I gave in, and slowly the noise of the world didn't feel hostile anymore. Then work surprised me with a small promotion. My manager clapped my shoulder and said, you've earned it. I smiled, genuinely, for the first time in months. I thought maybe life was finally settling into a shape I could live with. But then I saw the envelope. It was thick, elegant, white with gold trim, too bright, too deliberate. My stomach tightened. Probably some corporate event, I muttered, trying to convince myself not to panic. But my fingers trembled as I slid a thumb under the seal. The moment I unfolded it, the world narrowed into a single crushing line. Adrian Cole and Lena Brooks. My breath left my body. You've got to be kidding me, I whispered. My vision blurred as I stared at their names intertwined in perfect cursive. Wedding invitation. She wasn't just with him. She was marrying him. Replacing our life, our plans, everything we were supposed to be. I sank onto the couch, gripping the letter so tightly the paper bent. After 5 years, just like that. I tried to swallow, but my throat closed. A sharp ringing filled my ears. I didn't know if I was angry or broken or both. Then I saw the handwritten note inside. Ethan, I truly hope you'll attend. It would mean a lot to have you there. Lena. Mean a lot? To who? I whispered. The words felt like acid. I could almost hear her voice, warm and distant, asking me to show up like some kind of symbol, proof that I accepted what they did, proof that I approved. I stood up and paced the room. They want me there, I muttered. They want to look at me and think, look how well he's taking it. Rage stabbed through my chest. Like I'm the final trophy in whatever game they've been playing. My phone buzzed and I answered without thinking. Ryan's voice blasted through. Dude, you good? You sound like someone died. I hesitated, breathing unevenly. I got an invitation. Silence, then a sharp curse from his end. No. No way. Tell me you're joking. I wish, I said. They're getting married. She even wrote me a note asking me to come. Ryan didn't even try to hide his fury. Bro, that's sick. That's straight up sick. You better not go. I sank back onto the couch. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do, he snapped. You don't let them use you. His words echoed something Dr. Evans had said earlier that week. You keep giving people access to your pain, she told me. At some point you have to close the door. I looked at the invitation again. The gold letters mocked me. Something inside me twisted, tight, burning, unfamiliar. It wasn't grief this time. It wasn't helplessness. It was something sharper. I'm done, I whispered. I'm not their victim anymore. Saying it out loud felt like stepping into a new version of myself. A version that hurt, yes, but one that was finally ready to stop bleeding for people who didn't care. I folded the invitation slowly, deliberately. For the first time in months, the hollow inside my chest didn't feel empty. It felt like the start of something new. I didn't recognize the man staring back at me in the mirror, and for the first time in a long time, that felt like a good thing. My mornings started with workouts instead of dread. My nights ended with journaling instead of blaming myself. Dr. Evans kept pushing me gently, repeating, "Growth isn't loud, Ethan. It's steady." I'd nod and answer, "Then I guess steady is enough for now." At work, the energy felt lighter. I focused, I delivered, I breathed without the weight of someone else's choices crushing me. That's when Ava walked into my life, quietly, like she didn't want to disturb the air around her. One afternoon she approached my desk and said, "Hey, you okay? You look like you're thinking your way into a headache." I chuckled. "Is it that obvious?" She smiled softly. "Just a little." We started talking during lunch breaks. Nothing deep at first, just jokes about annoying clients and office coffee that tasted like burnt dreams. But one day she noticed me staring off, lost in a thought I didn't want to revisit. "You don't have to tell me," she said gently, "but you can if you want." Something in her tone made me open up. "My ex left me in a pretty brutal way." She didn't flinch. "And you're still standing," she whispered. "That already says a lot." Her presence made something inside me unclench. I wasn't falling for her, not yet, but I was finally able to breathe around someone again. That alone felt like progress. Weeks passed and my routine became something I actually looked forward to. Then one evening Ryan called me with an urgency that made my stomach tighten. "Bro, listen to this," he said. "Adrian's company? It's tanking. Like bleeding money." I blinked. "What do you mean tanking?" "I mean layoffs, debt, investors pulling out, the works. And guess what else? Rumor is he rushed the marriage because he needed financial stability. Lena's family money might be the safety net." I leaned back, stunned but oddly calm. "So it wasn't love?" I whispered. "Hell no," Ryan said. "He used her. And she used you to boost her ego before running to him. Two disasters holding each other up." I let out a slow breath. "Makes sense," I said. "Their whole relationship felt like a performance." "Exactly," Ryan replied. "And now the stage is collapsing." But instead of satisfaction, I felt distance, like I was watching something from another lifetime. Adrian's downfall had nothing to do with me anymore. That's when the messages from Lena started. The first one popped up late at night. "Hey, just checking if you're okay." I stared at it for a long moment before replying, "I'm fine. Hope you are too." The second arrived 2 days later. "I miss talking to you. Things feel heavy lately." I typed, "Sorry to hear that. Wishing you the best," and left it at that. Then the third one came, the one I knew was coming but still hated seeing. "Will you come to the wedding? It would mean a lot." I felt something sharp twist inside me. I whispered, "Why does she keep doing this?" I didn't reply immediately. I walked outside, letting the cold air cool the heat building under my skin. When I finally answered, I wrote, "I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know." It was polite, distant, and honest in its own way. The next day at work, Ava noticed my mood instantly. "Rough night?" she asked. I nodded. My ex reached out again. She hesitated before speaking. "Can I ask something?" "Yeah." "Why do you feel responsible for answering her?" Her question hit deeper than I expected. "Because I don't want to be cruel," I said quietly. She shook her head gently. "Being distant isn't cruelty. It's self-respect." I exhaled slowly. "You're right." Ava gave me a small smile. "You don't owe her access to the version of you she broke." The word stuck with me all day. When I went home, I looked around my apartment. The same space Lena had once walked out of, but it no longer felt haunted. It felt like it belonged to me again. Weeks earlier I was drowning. Now I was changing. My posture, my voice, my choices, they weren't shaped by pain anymore. They were shaped by growth. Lena's messages didn't break me. Adrian's downfall didn't thrill me. None of it defined me now. As I lay in bed that night, I whispered to myself, I'm not the man they left behind. Not anymore. And for the first time I believed it. I told myself I was walking into the wedding for closure, but the truth was simpler. I needed to see if the ghost still had power over me. When I stepped out of the car, adjusting my suit jacket, I felt strangely grounded. No shaking hands, no racing heart, just calm certainty that I belonged to myself again. Inside the venue, heads turned immediately. I heard someone whisper, "Is that Ethan?" Another voice answered, "He looks different." I kept my eyes forward, but their surprise fed a quiet strength in my chest. I moved toward the hall, hearing the music, the chatter, the forced elegance wrapped around everything. Lena saw me first. Her eyes widened and she rushed over with a breathy, "You came." I nodded. "You invited me." She swallowed. "Yeah, but I didn't think you would actually show up." I answered, "I'm here for closure, nothing more." Her expression faltered. She pulled me aside. "Ethan, can I ask you something?" I said, "Go ahead." She hesitated. "Are you really happy without me?" I looked straight into her eyes. "Yes, happier than I thought I could be." Her lips parted, trembling slightly. "Oh," she whispered like the answer wounded her. Before she could say more, Adrian walked in, already frowning when he noticed us. "Why are you talking to him?" he snapped. I folded my arms calmly. Lena murmured, "I was just welcoming him." Adrian's eyes hardened. "You didn't need to." His cousin Mark approached, whispering loudly enough for us to hear, "Adrian, the investors are asking questions again. They're getting nervous." Adrian hissed, "Not now." I raised an eyebrow. Lena bit her lip, nervous instantly. We walked to the seating area and the ceremony preparations began. All around me, murmurs floated in the air. I heard his company's in serious debt. He borrowed from the wrong people. Why rush a wedding unless something's collapsing? The whispers spread like cracks in the floor. Lena kept glancing back at me, her face tightening each time she heard another rumor. I sat still, hands folded, watching quietly. I didn't need to speak. The truth was unraveling without my help. During the vow rehearsal, Adrian suddenly snapped, "Stop staring at him." The room went silent. Lena blinked rapidly. "I wasn't staring," she protested. Adrian retorted, "You've been on edge since he walked in." She shook her head. "You're imagining things." But her voice trembled. Mark pulled Adrian aside, muttering, "Bro, keep it together." Adrian growled, "I can't when he's here." Mark sighed. "Then pretend. For one day." Adrian shoved him off. Lena approached me again. "Ethan, maybe you shouldn't sit so close to the front." I raised an eyebrow. "Does my presence bother you?" She whispered, "No, but Adrian, he's stressed." I responded, "His stress isn't my responsibility." She flinched. The ceremony finally began. I stood when everyone stood, sat when they sat, silent as stone. Adrian kept stealing glances at me, his jaw clenching each time he caught Lena looking my way. Their perfect image wasn't just cracking, it was collapsing. Halfway through, Adrian stopped mid-sentence and hissed at her, "Are you still hung up on him?" The guests gasped. Lena whispered harshly, "No. I'm here marrying you, aren't I?" But everyone could hear the unsteadiness in her voice. The officiant awkwardly cleared his throat. Mark muttered, "This is a disaster." Adrian snapped, "Shut up." Lena's eyes were wet now, but she kept her chin high. I remained silent, watching everything unfold like a storm I had predicted but no longer lived inside. When the ceremony ended and people dispersed uneasily, Lena approached me one last time. "Ethan, did you know this would happen?" She stepped back, shoulders tight. I answered, "I just knew I didn't need to fix anything anymore." Her shoulders sagged. "I thought seeing you would, I don't know, remind me of something stable." I replied, "Stability isn't something you steal back after breaking it." She stepped back, speechless. Adrian barked her name from across the hall. She turned toward him reluctantly, and for the first time I saw regret, not for losing me, but for choosing a fantasy that couldn't hold its own weight. I walked out without looking back, feeling lighter than I had in years. When I stepped out of the venue, the cold night air hit my face like a quiet reminder that the chaos inside wasn't mine anymore. I headed toward the parking lot, ready to leave everything behind when I heard quick footsteps behind me. "Ethan, please wait." I closed my eyes for a second before turning. Lena was running toward me, mascara streaked, breath shaky. "Please," she whispered again. "What do you want, Lena?" I asked softly. She wrapped her arms around herself. I need to talk to you," I exhaled. "About what?" Her lips trembled. "About everything." I stayed silent, giving her space to speak. She took a deep breath. "Adrian isn't who I thought he was. He's been lying to me. He hid his debts. He hid his problems. He hid everything." I said, "That's unfortunate, but it isn't surprising." She flinched. "I know I messed up. I know I hurt you. But tonight when I saw you walk in, looking so calm, so confident, I realized how stupid I've been. I kept my hands in my pockets." "You realized it tonight?" She nodded, tears falling. "I didn't even recognize you. You looked happy." "I am," I replied. She stepped closer. "Ethan, can we talk? Just talk? Maybe try again?" I stared at her. "Try again?" "Yes," she whispered. "I want to start fresh. I want to fix what I broke. Please." For a moment, my chest tightened the way it used to. Not because I wanted her back, but because hearing those words reminded me of the old version of myself. The one who would have begged her not to leave. But that version of me didn't exist anymore. "Lena," I said quietly, "you don't want me. You want comfort." Her eyes widened. "That's not true." "It is," I said. "You want stability. You want peace. You want someone who won't yell at you in front of a wedding crowd." She wiped her tears. "I just miss you." "Do you miss me?" I asked. "Or do you miss the way I made you feel?" She shook her head rapidly. "Don't say it like that. I miss you." I stepped back. "You left me without a second thought. You chose him without hesitation. And now that your new reality is falling apart, you want a place to land. I can't be that place." Her voice cracked. "I swear I didn't know Adrian would turn out like this." I said, "You didn't leave because he was better. You left because I didn't make you feel excited anymore." "That's not." "It is," I said gently. "And that's okay. But I've moved on." She stared at me like the words physically hit her. "Moved on?" "Yes." "With Ava?" she whispered. I blinked. "This isn't about Ava. This is about me choosing myself for the first time." She covered her mouth, sobbing hard enough that her shoulders shook. "Ethan, I regret everything. I regret leaving. I regret choosing him. I regret hurting you. I regret being blind." My voice softened. "And I'm sorry you feel that way. But your regret came too late." She reached for my arm, but I stepped back. "Please," she cried. "Don't walk away from me." I said, "Lena, you walked away first." She fell silent, tears running freely. "So that's it." "That's it," I answered. "I'm done living in your shadow. I'm done waiting for you to pick me. I'm done hurting." Her knees wobbled. "I didn't think losing you would feel like this." I nodded. "I know. But maybe this is what change feels like." She whispered, "I still love you." I shook my head. "You love who I used to be." At that moment, a loud voice exploded across the lot. "Lena." Adrian stormed toward us, face red, rage pouring out of him. "What the hell are you doing out here crying with him?" She wiped her face quickly. "Adrian, calm down." "Calm down?" he yelled. "Everyone inside saw you run after him." I stayed still. Adrian pointed at me. "You think you're some kind of hero? You think she still wants you?" Lena whispered, "Adrian, please stop." He snapped, "Are you still in love with him? Is that it?" Her silence was enough of an answer. Adrian turned on me. "Leave," he spat. "I was already leaving," I replied, voice steady. As I walked past him, I heard Lena sob, "Ethan, please?" I shook my head gently. "Goodbye, Lena." For the first time in a long time, the word felt final. I got into my car, closed the door, and breathed out slowly. Behind me, their argument echoed across the parking lot, messy and loud, but it didn't touch me anymore. I drove away feeling lighter, free from the past, free from her, free to become someone new. The mornings felt lighter now. I woke up without dread, without the shadow of someone else's mistakes hanging over me. Ava greeted me at work one day with a smile. "You're glowing today," she said. I chuckled. "Maybe it's the peace talking." She tilted her head. "Peace suits you." We walked to the cafe together during lunch. The air smelled of coffee and warm bread. I never realized how much I needed normal conversation, I admitted. She laughed softly. "Normal is underrated." I told her about Ryan's update. Lena left town, I said, stirring my cup. Apparently, the marriage didn't last long. Adrian's company went under. Ava raised an eyebrow. And how does that make you feel? I shrugged. Nothing. Nothing at all. I used to feel rage, heartbreak, betrayal. Now I just feel calm. She smiled, reaching across the table. That's good. You've earned it. I nodded, swallowing. I guess I'm starting to see what you mean when you said growth is steady. Later, Ryan called. Man, you hear about the latest? Yeah, I said, leaning back in my chair. I don't even care anymore. Exactly, he said, laughing. You're untouchable now. I smiled softly. Feels good. That evening, I found myself standing on the rooftop, looking out over the city lights. The wind tugged at my hair the same way it used to tug at my heart during sleepless nights. I took a deep breath and whispered, I'm finally free. I remembered the nights I begged Lena for attention, for love, for recognition. Please don't leave, I had said. I can't live without you. I shivered. That version of me was gone. Ava's text buzzed. Dinner tonight? I smiled. Of course. I thought about the wedding, about Adrian's smug face, Lena's trembling eyes. I realized then what true justice felt like. She had wanted me there, wanted to see me broken. She wanted a trophy. Instead, I walked away calm, stronger, untouchable. The phone rang. It was Ryan. You awake? I am, I said. Good. Just checking if you're still enjoying your freedom. I laughed. I am. More than ever. Later that night, I walked along the shore, waves crashing gently. I whispered to myself, I once begged for love from someone who only saw me as an option. Now I see my worth. The water sparkled under the moonlight, and I realized my reflection wasn't haunted anymore. Ava joined me, her hand brushing mine. Hey, she said softly. Hey, I replied, squeezing her hand. I feel ready. Ready for what? She asked. For life. For everything I've earned. For the future I choose. We walked together in silence, letting the waves fill the space between us. I didn't need closure anymore. I didn't need to see Lena, to hear her apologies or feel her regret. My life wasn't theirs to control. I remembered the last time she spoke to me, pleading for me to stay in her orbit. I whispered into the wind, you wanted me at your wedding to prove you won. But winning isn't seeing me broken. Winning would have been seeing me happy without you. Ava laughed softly. You look peaceful. I am, I said. Finally. The city lights reflected on the water, flickering like distant memories. I let them go. No anger, no sorrow, no longing. Just acceptance. I turned to Ava. I've built walls around my heart for myself now. Strong ones. But I'm ready to let someone in, not because I need them, but because I choose them. She smiled, eyes shining. I'm honored. I mean it, I said. As the waves crashed and the night stretched endlessly, I realized something crucial. My story didn't need them anymore. Lena, Adrian, they were chapters, not the ending. I was the author now, writing every line with my own hands. For the first time in years, I smiled truly. No one could touch this peace, this clarity. I felt unshakable. I whispered once more, almost to the wind, almost to myself, this is my beginning. And it was. I walked away from the shore with Ava at my side, knowing the future was mine to shape, mine to live, mine to own.